Hello and welcome to episode 35 of Mad Dialogue with me, Michelle.
And me, Skylar.
I hope everybody is doing really well this week. And a shout out to our new subscribers. I feel like I'm saying this every week now and I will never get tired of it.
No.
Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the Mad family. And a special shout out to our day ones because it would not be Mad Dialogue without you guys. So thank you so much. We really appreciate having you. So without further ado, let's get on with this week's episode. So all over social media at the minute is an MP. I think she's part of Nigel Farage's team. I'm not really into politics and all the rest of it. She just happens to be an MP that made this comment. So I'm going to let her tell you in her own words. And I got this from TikTok.
It drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people, full of Asian people, full of, people that basically are anything.
What's wrong
other
with that,
than
Sarah?
white.
What's wrong with that?
Well, it doesn't reflect our society. And I feel that, your average white person, average white family is like, I agree with you, Stuart, not represented anymore.
And so that's as much as what she has to say about seeing black and Asian people in adverts. So I don't really watch mainstream television, but I decided to hop on to mainstream just to view some adverts. And you was present at the time. And I have to say, she's right. I think 4 out of the 5 adverts did feature black people, but they also featured white people.
I beg to differ. I feel, we saw a few of black people, of people, that just aren't white. Excuse me. But I feel like I saw quite a few white people in a lot of adverts, but I thought, okay, the black man was the main character, per se, of the advert. And then I was like, oh no, it's the white guy. You know what I mean? There is still white people on the thing. I guess maybe when she was growing up, all you saw was white people. So in her eyes, having, I guess, people that aren't white on there, it may seem like that's all it is. You know what I mean? But in my eyes, I think it's quite equal.
And, and for me, it's a thing where she's saying it doesn't represent society. I'm confused by that statement because, exactly, because if you want a society like they have, them towns in America where it's whites only, then please feel free and go start at one of those towns, and then you can live your life accordingly. But I find it really strange that in this day and age that she would make a comment like that and say that black and Asian people, basically it doesn't represent society. That's what she's saying. Are we not part of society?
But this is my thing.
Are we not consumers of things also? Because, years and years ago when, because the ages that I am, born 1971, there was 3 channels, BBC One, BBC Two and ITV for the longest. There was never any black people on telly. Now, if you happen to watch a film that was like a black and white film from America, way back when, the only time you would see black people in those films is when they were servants or slaves. They were never depicted in any other way. Where it concerned British television, there was no black people on telly for the longest. And then there came a show called Love Thy Neighbor. And it was a white couple living next door to a black couple, and the women, they got along fine, but the husbands, they were always in it, and racial slurs were thrown amongst each other in that show, and it was seen as the most normal thing. Why? Because that was what was happening in everyday life anyway. Then they had another show called Mind Your Language, and where it was basically immigrants in a class with a white male teacher that was teaching them how to speak English. And then it was done as comedy. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Then later on, there came a show called Desmond's, which was a barber shop, and it had characters in there. And yes, the cast was predominantly black. But the point I'm making is we are not living in the dark ages, okay? There is a guy who was making reference to what she was saying, and this comes from LBC. It stands for Leading Britain's Conversation. Now, there's two things. So I'm just going to play both videos because I can't remember which order they came in. But the gentleman is called James O'Brien, and he is basically commenting on what she had to say.
This hideous woman complaining about the number of brown and black faces in television advertisements. In a country where, 30 years ago, you'd never see one? No one really seems to have made that point. No one really seems to have made the point that if you have any knowledge at all of how the advertising industry works, the idea that people would be sitting around a table on whatever the British equivalent of Madison Avenue is and deliberately deciding to sell less product by putting people of colour in their adverts. It is one of the most ruthless and cynical industries on the planet. The attention economy, which in many ways pays my mortgage, is designed to shift as much stuff as is humanly possible. So that's not just a racist comment, it's a comment of unimpeachable stupidity. You're thick, you're racist, and you're weird. And I don't know what order to put that in. Don't underestimate the power of weird or the power of stupid. It's a hat trick of horrors. Racist, stupid, weird. This hideous woman I've got one of the finest ever examples of the history button. Would you like to hear it? So someone's been in touch, and I remember I explained this isn't a debate, because if you think it's debatable, you are racist. I wouldn't say it was racist as such, James. She was saying that it was not representative of the nation. I've noticed that nearly every advert and even teleprograms have to have black and white couples and mixed race kids. It's ridiculous. They are pushing it down our throats. What are they pushing down your throats? And if I press the button to see what other messages this person has sent to the program or the radio station, here's one. I'm telling you now, James, if my wife was to vote Labour and not Reform, I would drown her. That's what you're dealing with. That's who you're debating with. I've got one of the...
So, as a mixed-race child, what's your views? Or not even a mixed-race child, a mixed-race... You're my mixed-race child, but a mixed-race young woman.
I just feel like... I'm pretty sure statistically... mixed-race people take up the majority of the population.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not just going off of black and white mixed, but out of any ethnicities. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In a roundabout way, everyone's mixed when you think about it.
If you want to get to the nitty-gritty, because how many people have done that DNA ancestry thing? And it shows that not one person is full one thing.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
But I just think...
Or one race, should I say?
If to go off of her philosophy and then this other man who's called in his philosophy, you're basically telling me I don't exist. You know what I mean? When you think about it, if you're saying,
or you shouldn't,
like if that's what you're saying, that it doesn't reflect what they were saying in society or whatever, I just don't think that makes sense, because what England are you living in? You know what I mean? To believe that, because I've watched shows. I watched this one show where it was these American high school students swapping with the British students. And there were so many black children, mixed children who came over to the UK and said the way they felt so much more comfortable because of the diversity in England compared to, you know, some towns they're growing up in America. And as you said, you know, how there's some of those towns where it's just solely white people. Now, how would that make any sense? How would they feel more diversity if, well, that wasn't, you know what I mean?
I have to say, yeah.
It's just stupid.
And in fairness, that for me, when I look at people in general, it is the older generation, like my ages and older, that still hold this racist mentality. Now, the way how I look at it is like this. If my color offends you, then close your freaking eyes. You're an idiot. Like, my color should not offend you. It should, my actions towards you, if I do something negative, should offend you. My words, if negative, those should offend you. The color of my skin should not offend you. It's like this. Let's break it down, all right? When it was COVID, there was two parts to it, right? You was for the vaccine, you was against the vaccine. Their color did not come into it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And this is the thing. When she's jumping up and she's saying things like seeing Black and Asian people in adverts, it makes her mad, yeah? And it doesn't represent society. People want to argue that it's not a racist comment. It is a racist comment, because then if she feels that way when she's watching adverts, yeah, how does she feel when she's out and amongst Black and Asian people every day?
I'm going to assume she's not, because, well, that doesn't reflect society. We're not.
Okay, so where the hell is she then? Where the hell is she?
It just you know, me. I think I'm not even offended at her comment. I'm more just on the same thing as him. Like, you're very stupid.
It's like this. It's like this.
She's a very stupid woman.
If I walked out of my house right now, yeah, and I saw a green person, I would not be offended by the fact that he was green.
I'd be like, yes, alphabet.
I'd be curious. Like, okay, let's be right. It's not Halloween, okay? All right, it's not Halloween. And I see a green person. I'm not going to be offended by their color, but I'm curious.
Yeah.
Like, why are you green?
But this is what I'm saying, and I don't
like,
understand.
but not, oh, you're green.
You know what I mean?
I don't want to see green people in adverts. So I have to ask her, and this is the thing.
How far we have to compare ourselves to a green alien?
Hold on a minute then. So you know the adverts that have like the Churchill dog, and you know the one, what's the one with baby Oleg?
Meerkat's Market.
Right. Think of other adverts that have animals, that feature animals in them. Do they represent society?
There's dogs in society.
So what? So when she walks into a cafe and says she's sitting down to have a latte, yeah, she's seeing a freaking meerkat at the next table with a velvet gown on, because that represents society. You're a silly woman, Sarah Pochin. Yeah? And this is the thing. If it is a thing where your surname is based on your lineage, then what does that say about her people? They're poachers. Okay, maybe I'm just chatting shit now. But it's annoyed me. She's annoyed me. How dare she?
It's funny, but this really hasn't actually offended me, because I just think she's either just rage bait or like
no, but maybe somebody is making her say it. But at the end of the day, yeah, but she had the view. She had the view. She said it. You heard her in her own words. It makes me mad when I see Black and Asian people in adverts. Like, what are they doing in adverts that are making you so mad? And how does it not represent society? What, we don't eat food, we don't drive cars, we don't walk
pays for a
in the
Netflix
park.
Subscription and filters her settings to whites only.
No, but this is the thing.
So, like, is it really that big of a deal? Even if that's how you feel, to be on this big, what is it, LBC, like, to be saying this, like, you really want people to know, like, come on, she's in a high position. I just think it's ridiculous.
And so then my thing is this, because even though the party that she represents with that Nigel Farage, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but, take it as you want to take it. But they would have stupid people of color that would be joining in part of that party, yeah?
Most definitely. That would be.
She don't give a shit how they feel. But how do they feel? Hearing that comment, yeah?
This is what I'm saying.
And then in the House of Commons, when somebody wanted to address it, and it was a Black woman, this white woman was like, yeah, you can say the comment is racist, but you can't say that she's racist. If you make a racist comment, then I'm pretty sure that you are racist.
But this is what I'm saying.
And I am not a racist person, and that's the reason why it irritates me so much. I really do go by people's energy, and at the end of the day, if I'm gonna deal with you how you deal with me,
exactly.
But I'm always respectful of people. But the other day, I walked past this woman, and the way how the woman screwed up her face, like I smelt like shit. And I'm so used to that look because I've been on this earth a long time, and I've been experiencing racism since I was 4 years old. So I know when a person is racist. And you know what? do you?
But this is what I'm
Do
saying.
you know what I'm
It
saying?
doesn't
Like,
actually bother me.
because even if you're going to say, oh, I don't like black people because they tread on my toe. One tread on my toe the other day. Okay, well, maybe one black person did tread on your toe, but that wasn't all black people.
But this is what I'm saying. And I feel like in so many different ways, also just from my experience in life, I've seen where people do, in that sense, have that mindset of because they've had a bad interaction with one black person in their life, and that was the first interaction they had, that then they do have this idea that everyone's that way. And then I've seen people be proven wrong. Like I know racist people who have ended up liking me who, because they couldn't help it sort of thing, but because they had this bad ideology.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but you see me, yeah, how I am today, if you're racist, yeah, keep it all the way over there. Keep it all the way over there, because you would not like the words that I would say to you. I would make a racist person so mad, Jed, that they would literally want to put hands on me. Yeah, I'm so serious, because I don't interact with people with that intention.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm a black woman, and I'm very proud of the fact that I am a black woman, and I will be that way until my very last day.
Almost definitely.
Yeah. But so if my color offends you, that's on you.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I remember growing up and to how mercifully I was bullied, or mercilessly I was bullied over my skin color. I would go to bed at night, pray that I would wake up the next day and be white. You understand what I'm saying? That's how much it traumatized me, because it was traumatizing.
But naturally,
you know,
and you know, like, this is the thing, you know, you're not the only one.
Right.
He felt that way. Me, who, yes, as a child, you know, as a black person, everyone's experienced racism, but it wouldn't have nearly been on the standard that you did. Yeah, I still had times where I wished I would be white. You know what I mean?
But this is the thing again. It's like having you as a biracial, mixed race child, whatever. Back in my day, you would have been referred to as half caste.
Still to this day, youths have tried to refer to
really.
Yeah, and I've had to correct them and be like, but then that's because they're hearing their parents. You know what I mean?
And so I had to raise you, even though you have both, I had to raise you with a black mentality with regards to society.
That's how society views you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And so, but I do really find it sad that still in this day and age that we are still having to deal with this kind of
there's
nonsense.
Bigger issues where we as people should actually be coming together,
right,
and working together as
color
people.
Should be the last thing.
And this is what I'm saying, and I really thought we as like humanity had kind of progressed past this point. I'm not saying that, you know, I believe that nobody's racist and stuff, but I just thought we were kind of, I don't know, like,
I mean, and once again, don't get me wrong, I know that this is not everybody shares her views. However, there was a workman that came here once to do some work. Obviously, he's a workman, but he spent most of the time talking to me about being black in today's society, and he even said that he's overheard his work colleagues discussing how many black and Asian people that they see in adverts nowadays. So there are people that have issues with it.
That's like,
I don't get it. It's so weird.
Like I have such better stuff to be thinking about rather than the skin color of whoever's on my TV. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's like, so
it's
strange.
It's never been something that occurred to me. I'm just more concerned about how I'm gonna like make money. You know what I mean? Like,
it's so strange, because I'm surprised then she didn't say about films.
But this is my thing. This is my thing.
Because, you know, you do get a diverse, like, people in
more than adverts.
You know, in television shows.
That guy had a point. Naturally, because of a lot of advertising companies, their thing is to make money. They're not going to be as quick. Yes, as we saw, there was quite a few adverts, but he was right in the sense that for the longest, they didn't want to put black people of color in their adverts because it would lower their market naturally. So, but
then what she needs to check then is if they're doing that, then that also means that black people and Asian people are spending money too. You know what I'm saying?
We like to go to Tesco as well.
We eat food too.
We don't just stand in the adverts looking hungry.
I'm saying,
Like, that's
I'm
obviously,
saying,
I bet she's cool with that advert though.
I'm saying,
To help the
yeah,
little kids.
that Sarah, as an MP, you really should have bigger fish to fry rather than being mad that there's Black and Asian people in adverts. Oh my days. Silly woman. Like, maybe what burnt her is she saw a Black woman advertising a face cream and she tried the face cream and it didn't work. Maybe. I don't know.
You should have to let us know. What was her name again?
I'm not being funny, yeah. That's the one little dig I've had at that woman. And so you can just allow me, because if I saw Sarah Pochin in an advert tomorrow, it wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't bother me. I might not buy the product she was advertising, but it wouldn't bother me seeing her in an advert. Anyway.
Oh, goodness me.
On that note, I think we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
As always, thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate you. And we are sending you an abundance of love and light. It's goodbye from me, Michelle, and goodbye from Skylar.
Bye.
Bye.